Ladies, gentlemen, gamers, welcome back to a little late, but I'm always gonna do it, hopefully. Patch notes for League of Legends. So I have my dinner next to me and I'm fucking hungry, but I decided to do this first for God knows why. The water's broken in my house. I don't really know how to explain it better than that without making it really winded. So I can't shower, I can't really do anything involving water. But I'm still doing patch notes. I don't know why I said that, but here we go. So, flowers are blooming. Birds are chirping. No, they're not. Well, actually, they are. I've been up in the mornings to know. And our favorite time of the year, mid-season? No way. So this better be a big shit. Alright. This one's a bit of a doozy, so let's give me a rundown. First, we've got a new shake-up to the tank system, with the nerf of Turbo Chem Tank, probably the only good tank item, and buffs to a few underpowered fighter items. Whoa. Then in preparation for MSI, they're probably going to do nothing. This means dominant names like Gragas take a step back. I didn't think Gragas was that dominant. And let old friends like Shen and Lulu, I thought they were actually really good. Ironic. Okay, past these, we overshot a few champions last patch, okay, who grew to be problems like Diana and Morgana. Ironic. Whose newfound power helped them settle too comfortably in the jungle, okay. This goes for a certain Red Reaper and a Magenta Meatball. I have no clue who those are. Okay, Taric, okay. Alright, cool. So basically nothing. Oh, what's this? They should play one. Okay. So, this patch we got the Damwon skins, Conquer Jax, and Conquer Jax Prestige, of which I shall talk about at the end of the patch, because I have some opinions on those. So, Diana. I played my first game of Diana Jungle today, and I got stupid fed, like absolutely stupid fed. But even while being stupid fed, and while I feel like this always happens to me, I could not burst their AD. Their AD was Kai'Sa, and their support, I don't even remember who it was, but it didn't, oh no, it was Lux. It was support Lux with Kai'Sa, and I could not fucking burst her. And I was like 18 and like 4, or like 20 and 4 or some shit. And I was like, how can I not burst this AD? Granted, it was my first game on Diana, but like, she feels cool. I mean, I don't know if it was because I was fed, and I have a very low, like, oh god, what's it called? I have a very low, like, view of, like, how she is, because I've only played one game and gotten fed on her, so it's not really a fair look, really quick look at her. But I don't know, she seems okay. Probably on the stronger side, though. I don't really see her losing in the 1v1s. She's like a better Nocturne. She could go in on you, and she could explode you, but then she could do it again, basically. And it's AoE. It's like AoE AP Nocturne fighter. I've been recently playing Nocturne too, and he just goes in and kills one person maybe and dies. And even then, it's not guaranteed. Then it's basically guaranteed you're going to kill who you want, and then you might kill someone else too. So, she's probably on the stronger side, and she's definitely getting nerfed. I actually saw a clip of Diana deleting one of the pro players. I forgot which ones they were, but it was a jungler. They were playing Nidalee, and the 12 and 8 Diana killed the Nidalee jungle in 0.24 seconds. It was hilarious. Anyway. So, what are they saying? Our buffs to Diana passive in 11.8 helped her rise up the ranks in mid and jungle. Players are enjoying the spice she brings in the jungle, so we're gently pulling back on her clear speeds and in-lane durability. So they're actually pushing her for being a jungler. That's interesting. Her armor's going down, which affects her jungling, not really her laning. And her health regen's going down, which affects her jungling, not really her laning. Okay, exactly the opposite of what they said. And then her passive is getting nerfed. So they're literally nerfing everything. So, like, how does this have to do... They're just nerfing her in every aspect. That's so fucked up. But needed. So, honestly, this is fine. As long as they didn't remove the bonus that the W gives, that's fine. Or, is it the W? No, it's the passive yet. This is fine. I still think she's good. Okay, Mundo. I don't know how often they're going to touch him, because we're getting teasers for like the new Mundo. Like we've already seen the splash art for the new skin and a bit of the legendary. So I'm very confused on why they're still changing him if he's about to be like reworked, but whatever. Let's see. Base armor and AD growth decreased. So our 11.8 buffs to top Mundo brought him back into the spotlight. Once he hits late game, he reaches an oppressive state, which is how it's supposed to be in my opinion, where it feels impossible to get through his purple hide. That sounds so wrong. We're following up by taking out some of his tankiness. Okay, what are they doing? His armor growth is going down by 0.5. AD growth is going down by 3. Or 0.5 again to 3. This basically probably does nothing. Mundo's the same. Garen. I think Garen is actually fucking crazy. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know why I don't feel like I'm crazy on Garen, but I feel like Garen is such a threat. Like, he's so tanky, but does decent damage, and he's a nuisance. And unless you have, like, Vayne or something, God, he feels so strong, and I don't know what it is. Because I've played Garen here and there, and I don't feel like I'm strong, but every Garen I go against just feels oppressive. I think he needs to be nerfed, though. Like, it's kind of crazy. I'm scared of Garen. Like, almost as much as Darius. I'm scared of Darius in lane, not really out of lane. I'm scared of Garen, like, at all times. It's crazy. Anyway, W bonus resistance decreased. Ooh, unit kill cap increased. Oh my god. So not only are you getting less, you have to do more to get less. That is shitty. With Fission stacking out his W without requiring much in return, Garen's been able to have his beef and eat it too. Nice. So how much are they doing? So 0.25 to 0.2, so you're going to need a whole ass wave to go up 1 armor MR. And then you need to kill 150 minions to do that. So, oh god, let me calculate this. So if you need 5, so 5, 10. So it's 10 for 2. So 100 for 20. So you get 30, I think. I believe you get 30. Armor and MR for free, but it's at 150. Honestly, this hurts him. I would say this definitely hurts him. You're getting it at a much slower pace, and it's not going to be as impactful in lane. Pretty decent nerf, honestly. I don't know if it's enough, but maybe. Okay, Gragas. I don't believe Gragas is strong. I barely see Gragas, and when I do, I feel like he's so mechanically, like... I mean, he's not that mechanically hard, but he's decently hard enough and skillful enough to where, like, if you're shit at him, you're not really going to do much. So, I don't think they should be nerfing him, because I barely see him anyway. So if you're good at him, might as well, you know, be good at the champion. I feel like they don't like Gragas being good for too long, at least historically. So let's see what they're doing. Gragas is currently a triple threat in pro... Okay, so they're only doing it for pro play. Nice. So he's somehow a support, which I refuse to believe. Jungler, I can see it. Top lane, I could kind of see it. Honestly, I'm more scared of his top than his jungle. But, what are they doing? The body slams damage, of which you max, I believe, second, is going down by 20 later. This does nothing. Hecarim. I think Hecarim is actually stupid good. I think he's a really good jungler, probably top tier. Honestly, I don't know what it is. I feel like he just does a lot of consistent damage. So if we're going to see a nerf, it's either going to be to his burst, initial burst, so maybe the passive, or E, or probably Q damage, or ulti. I doubt they'll touch the W. If they touch the W, I think that's stupid. But maybe a passive nerf, even though they've nerfed it enough, so probably not. So either a Q or an ulti nerf. That's what I'm like hoping to see here. Anyway, Hecarim is still a wild gallop in the meta, more often meeting the ban hammer than his foes. Okay, so he's just being banned a lot. And then he's confined to full tank. In order to fix this, we're trying down some upfront burst, okay, and early durability. We've also given him more incentive for damage-oriented builds. I like that. So they're lowering his armor, but making it so he's getting more tanky later. Okay. So initially he's squishy, which is weird. Q damage amp per stack decreased and now scales with bonus AD. Okay, so again, you're just shittier early. W now heals from damage dealt and scales with AD. That's really fucking good. E damage decreased. Okay, how bad? That's pretty bad. The armor nerf is pretty decent. Armor growth, whatever. Yeah, it's wiener. Rampage. 2% plus 1 per 33 bonus AD. So you're gonna get basically it back if you get 83, 66. 99. So if you build 100 AD at least, you're getting like the bonus damage back. But yeah, it's pretty shit early. Jesus Christ. W. Hecarim no longer heals 30% of damage taken. Okay. Hecarim now heals for 30% plus 1 per 40 bonus AD. This is halved for damage dealt by allies. That's crazy. So you could actually have your allies heal you. That's ridiculous, actually. Holy shit, that's super good. They actually buffed the W. Okay, and the E. Devastating charge. Base damage is going down by 5. Max damage is going down by 10. This barely does anything. The damage numbers aren't really too much, besides maybe the Q. The armor is pretty big, and the W is big. Overall, I would say Hecarim's still decent, and probably really incentivized to build damage, which I like. I like damage Hecarim, fuck tank. Okay, Donger. What do I think of Donger? I used to be quite the Donger connoisseur back in the day, honestly. Donger used to be one of my favorites because of just... In low elo, they don't know how to deal with him. Like, honestly, people just shit themselves. Like, if they go against Heimerdinger and they have no clue how to, like, counter him, which is just kill his dongs. But, yeah, once you get up higher, you kind of have to max W and pray to God you could poke them and just pussyfoot until you get all your dongs out in the team fight. But, I think if left unchecked, Heimerdinger's really good. It's just he's easily counterable and kind of easily exploitable. I think he needs a buff, personally. I don't think he's bad, but I think he needs a buff because he's a little hard. So, what are they doing? Heimerdinger is overperforming in top, mid, and bot lanes at high levels of play. That is such a lie. What are they doing? So, they're nerfing the W, which is what you have to do at high levels of play, so I was right about that at least. Base damage going down by 20. That kind of hurts. It's a little slap on the wrist. Maximum. Oh, that's initial. Okay, wait a minute. Maximum is going down by 3. Almost 30. No, a little above 30. 36. Honestly, this is not bad for a nerf. Like, I'm pretty sure it's okay. Honestly, this is whatever. Heimerdinger still sucks in my opinion. He's good, but he's just really hard. Okay, Jinx. I already know what this is because I read it by accident. But this is fucking stupid. It's not. I really hate when Riot says, "Oh yeah, we're bug fixing this." I can't tell you the amount of times they bug fixed Jhin, and it wasn't a bug fix. It was a straight ass nerf. Like how they bug fixed him using Hail of Blades to only proc on 2 autos. Because, yeah, that was the bug. It procced on 3 autos. The Hail of Blades working on 3 autos for Jhin was a bug. Because, you know, it empowers 3 autos, so you would think on Jhin you would get 3 autos worth out of it. But no, it's a bug, so he only gets 2. Stupidest thing I've ever heard. So I feel like they're doing the same thing with Jinx. So Jinx was doing more splash damage than she was supposed to with Fishbones. It's fixed now, but it's a big enough drop in damage that we're noting it here. So it's a big nerf. So... Instead of the crit being 200%, it's 175. Yeah, it's 175. Damage to the primary target was unchanged and has been correctly 175. So, Fishbones is, if I'm correct, the rocket launcher. Pow Pow is the machine gun. The rocket launcher has special scaling. Instead of doing 100%, it does 110% damage. So, the crits should be doing more damage. Now, granted, 200%, okay, that's a little much. But if the regular crit is 75 or 175, it should be 185. Because she's supposed to do 10% more in her rocket form. So I don't know if they got that wrong here, or if it's just not included. Excuse me. If it's not included because the scaling applies after. But if that's the case, I mean, she's losing 15% damage on a crit for AoE, which is pretty big. But, it's not too bad, but Jinx's AoE was really crazy. So, was it needed? Yes. I just don't like the way they're writing it, and I don't know, I think ADs are weak in general. But yeah, Jinx was especially strong, honestly. She was, like, in my opinion, she is one of the better ADs. Anyway. Kayn. What do we think of Kayn? I think Kayn has barely been seeing play. I think if you go Kayn, it's really, really niche to go Shadow Assassin. Like, you almost never see it because Red is just so much better at 90% of the games. And even then, red, I don't really see Kayn that often because he takes a while to get to red, and before then he's kind of like a non-champion, unless you get a really good gank off. But once you do get the transformation, I do think he's pretty good, but I'd say he's on the weaker side. I think when you see a buff, because he either takes too long to get to where he needs to get, even though it is kind of strong, it takes too long, and before then he has kind of no impact in my opinion. So what are they doing? Shadow Assassin Kayn has been overshadowing his darkened counterpart. I don't believe that to be true at all. So bringing that part of Kayn out of the dark. Darkened damage modifiers, 10%. I mean, it's okay. You're not really known for doing damage as Rost, but indirectly this is kind of strong because if you're doing more damage, you're healing more. So it is only 10%, but it has a ripple effect. It's not great, but it's definitely something. So, and it's totally AD too, so it's very powerful. Honestly, this is pretty okay. Not a bad buff. Not a lot, but not bad. Kindred. Man, my predictions have been all, like, wrong with what Riot thinks. I wonder who's right, though. I hope it's me. I'm pretty sure it's me, though. I think Riot really does not know how to balance their game most of the time. Anyway, Kindred. What do I think of Kindred? She sucks. She needs a buff. But I don't want her to get buffed because I hate her. What are they doing? Kindred is continuing to struggle in the jungle. Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to stop. So we're giving her a stronger mid-game power spike. I don't think that's the problem. So the Q cooldown is going from 9 to 8, which then gets further reduced in W, so ripple effect. The base damage is going up by 5, which then goes up to 20. Honestly, not bad. The base damage is really decent. Q cooldown, not bad. Honestly, this isn't as bad as a buff as I thought. Like, I thought this was going to be a meaningless buff. It's not that meaningless. I don't think it's really going to help her in any meaningful way, but if you play Kindred already, it's going to feel a little better. So that's good. Okay, Kogmaw. So, I have some strong opinions about this. I think Kogmaw fucking blows wiener. I think on hit just got like... I don't know what it was either. I think on hit is just worse. And I don't know if it's because they changed the items and how like on hit works now. But like, the way I was thinking about it, right? When preseason came out and they revealed it. You should gain scaling on hit as the game goes on if you build crit. Now, what's the problem with this? Kogmaw doesn't necessarily build crit. He could, he builds a little bit, but in general, he likes Wit's End, Blade of the Ruined King, which both are not crit items. So, while they do provide on hit, they're not crit items. So it's a little weird, it's a little awkward. And I feel like Kogmaw just isn't as strong as before. I don't know if it's because other things are stronger than him, like, you know, regular crit, or if tanks are just better, which if they are, Kogmaw should thrive. But I feel like Kogmaw is so fucking weak. The only thing I think that will change this is if they buff his W. Because that's the only part of his kit that matters. Either that or give him a new passive or change his ult. Those 3 things matter. Nothing else matters. So, what are they doing? They're touching everything else I said didn't matter. Nice. Kogmaw has been in a cocoon more than he's been in the bot lane. That's gotta fucking... That's so true. Like, unless you're guaranteed to get Lulu, Kogmaw's so bad. So we're giving him more ooze to get back in the groove. In addition, we're helping him burn through the enemies that dare stand in his way or in his spit. So the Q getting his armor reduction up doesn't matter at all. The level 1, though, is nice. Like, from 20 to 25, that is pretty good. That's a 25% buff, honestly. Really good. But it doesn't matter. The Void Ooze. The cost is going down. Doesn't matter. He doesn't really have that many mana problems if you're not stupid. Useless buffs. Kogmaw's still shit. And I'm very sad about that because I love Kogmaw. Lulu. I think Lulu is sleeper one of the best supports. In my opinion, the trifecta of like god supports are like Thresh, Lulu, Alistar. If you find a player that is great at one of those 3 champions, the bot lane is basically won. Like it's basically won with those 3 champions. Those are the best supports in my opinion. So I've said that before too. So what are they doing? We're buffing Whimsy to give Lulu a pinch more power earlier in the game. I think this is crazy. I think Lulu is actually really fucking strong. I don't know why they're doing this, but whatever. The cooldown of Whimsy is down by 1 second. This does nothing. Ally cast bonus attack speed, 25. Okay, so indirectly this helps Kogmaw, and it's early too. Most of the power is focused on early, so this is actually pretty decent. 5%. Like, they're giving her 5%, but in terms of what it was, it's a 25% buff. Because, you know, 5% of 20 is 25%, and they're giving her 5%. It's weird. It's weird how my mind works, but I know it makes sense in my mind. So, interesting. I didn't think Lulu was going to get a buff, but it's great. Hopefully it helps Kogmaw. I didn't think she deserved it, though. I think she's really good. Oh boy, Morgana. Okay, if you play Morgana jungle, you fucking suck. Morgana jungle fucking sucks. Morgana sucks as a support. She literally has 2 gimmicks. Her first gimmick is... No, she has actually a lot of gimmicks. Let me describe them here. More than 2, though. Her first gimmick is her Q lasts forever. Yeah, it does. But you're almost never gonna fucking hit it, because it's so hard to hit, and everyone can just dodge it, because everyone has movement abilities now. So... the Q is great if you can fucking hit it, which you don't. So that's the first fucking fantasy that people have with Morgana. Like, yeah, the Q's so good. The second fallacy Morgana has is that she has ult. Honestly, like, unless you're going against Blitz or Thresh, like, playing Morgana is kind of stupid. Or maybe against Alistar, too. But, like, most people do not play her for the Black Shield. People are not that, like... subservient. People want to be like, oh yeah, I'm going full mage Morgana, which is my third point. Full mage Morgana sucks. It doesn't do a lot of damage. So like, Morgana's ganks are terrible because you miss Q, okay, gank's done. You really just provide a black shield, a root if you can land it, and an ulti that either gets you killed or has a good effect on a team fight, but it's so rare to see that happen. Like, you literally have to waste flash to do that. It's similar to Annie. It's like you have to waste so much to really get something good going with your ulti. But in general, I think Morgana's shit. Like, that's what I'm going for. Morgana's just shit. And, like, I don't understand why people think she's good. Yeah, she has a good clear, but if you can't translate that to anything else, aka actual kills or anything else, you know, it's like, okay, she has a good clear. Who cares? So anyway, although we think she's a great new addition to the jungle, she's not. Our 11.8 buffs to Morgana was stronger than intended. Yeah, because everyone's playing, everyone's sucking. Like, oh my god, Morgana sucks. So, 200% to 185. I mean, it's something, but I don't think it matters. Morgana just sucks. Okay, Rumble. What do I think of Rumble? I think Rumble is pretty good. The other changes, I played it a little bit. I mean, I went against Nasus and I got my shit drubbed in, so... that's not really fair to say, though, because Nasus is special. I did feel stronger. I did feel the new Rumble is stronger, though. Like, if you played old Rumble, you didn't, unless you were, like, really good, you didn't really think of, like, overheating as, like, a necessary thing to do. Now it is. Like, now you need to overheat to do good. It's actually crazy, like, how you need to play new Rumble. The overheat is actually so fucking good. It's really crazy. But anyway, what are they doing? Rumble is heating up in the mid lane. Wow, that's weird. It's almost like they buffed him specifically for top, but it was good mid because it's really just a damage up. Specifically against squishier melee targets. They literally said when they buffed him with the whole, you know, new passive and everything, that they wanted it to be against tanks and, like, healthy people. This is hilarious. Riot does not know what they're doing. So we're hitting an ultra-reliable source of his damage to his enemies. So his passive. Overheat bonus on hit damage. Wow. Okay, so I'm assuming it still has the percent health scaling or whatever, but, like, wow. This is hilarious. They buffed him, and then he just went mid with it. That is so funny. But, Rumble's still fine. Trust me. He's still fine. Okay, Sett. What do I think of Sett? I think Sett sucks. I think he literally just became a support. He was... he came out like Tom Kench as a really fucking good brawling top laner. So good, in fact, you almost never lost in, like, 1v1s if you played it right, if you weren't stupid. And then what happened? They were relegated to support, and now they're seen nowhere else. Sett was seen almost everywhere else as a flex pick. Jungle, mid, top. But not because he did damage, just because he lived and set shit up. That's the only reason he was played, and they kept nerfing him, so he's literally just a support. So let's see what they're doing. I think he's pretty shit, and he's literally just a support. Our damage binding adjustments to 10.8 reduced the effectiveness of full tank builds, which made him less of a menace in mid, jungle, and support. Wow. With the reduced threat of him flexing across different positions, we can now let him flex more damage. So hopefully this puts him back in top. So the damage of W is going up if you build more. It's actually doubled. That's actually pretty crazy. And the R damage is 120% bonus AD. So yeah, if you're building full damage, or some damage, this is better. But you're most likely still going to build tank, because tank Sett is just still probably the best in terms of team fighting and pro play. And he's really seen a lot in pro play, so that's that. Shen, I feel like Shen's pretty good. I feel like he's a little hard. Definitely only for good players, because the reason you pick Shen is for the ulti. Everything else in his kit is good. I'm not trying to ignore it, but honestly, if you like don't have, or if you're not good at using the ulti at Shen, the rest of the kit doesn't matter. But regardless, I think he's quite good. Yeah, it's gonna have to wait. So, what are they doing? Our shield decrease now scales with bonus health. Interesting. So it might be a nerf, it might be a buff. Let's see. I think Shen could go both ways, honestly. I don't think he's too strong, but I don't think he's too weak. He's just a little hard, because you have to be good to play him. With only base values and a token AP ratio, which never gets used, Shen's ult feels more like a bubble than a shield, making it too unreliable for protecting squishies. Sometimes it's good. I think later on in the game it's good. We're adding another ratio to make his scaling considerably better. Okay, let's see this. So the minimum shield is going down. The base value doesn't fucking matter, honestly. Like, oh no, it got nerfed by 25. Oh no. But now, instead of just AP, it's also bonus health, so it's going to go up. So maximum shield goes from... it's getting nerfed by 40. Wow. But you're going to get way more back with just the health. Like, this is so good. This is actually a really good buff to Shen. Holy shit. It's really good. Taric. What do I think of Taric? I think Taric was only used for funneling and is really bad everywhere else because he has basically no range. And his ult is basically the only thing that is alluring about him. The E is hard to hit. The Q's okay. But you have to kind of smack shit to do that, and that puts you out of position. Taric's not bad. He's just definitely... he could be better. He needs a buff. I think he needs a buff. What are they doing? Taking some of the mana burn off our Knight and Shining Crystal. Casting R, Cosmic Radiance, E Dazzle, and W Bastion on Taric's linked ally that is not present on the map will no longer channel, show their VFX, or grant benefits respectively on them when they reappear. Huh? Through abilities like Elise's E, Repel Master E's Q Alpha Strike. Wait, what? Wow, that is a huge funnel nerf. So if you're queuing on Master Yi, you don't get the ulti. That is ridiculous. That's really that solves the problem, but damn, they went hard. And I guess to compensate for the only reason he was played, they're making his Q cost less mana. This is shit. This is whatever. Taric's still shit. Trundle. I think Trundle kind of sucks. He's very one-sided, or one-dimensional. He just beats the shit out of you, and if you're tanky, he really beats the shit out of you, and he just lives. He's just a fucking meaty guy. Not as meaty as Garen, but he's meaty. And he's like a good counter to tanks, in my opinion, for team fighting and shit. Yeah, I would say that. I would say he needs a buff, though. Well, let's see. The nerf to pillars, slow, put the brakes on his ganking. Oh my god, they're doing this for jungle Trundle. Ew. Okay, so the slow's going up again. The main point of contention is going up again. Cool. He's the same. It's the same. Vladimir. They buffed Unk, and I saw a lot of Unks being played. So they're probably going to nerf Unk, because if Unk goes crazy, he really goes crazy. Our last buff brought Vlad back into the role of scaling powerhouse, maybe a little too much. Damn, that's sad. They're already taking it away. So what are they doing? They're not nerfing it as bad as it used to be, so they're trying to make it a little worse, but not as worse as it was. 0.6 seconds. This doesn't seem like a lot, but every second when you're this low counts. Or every, point of a second. Tenth of a second. There we go. Interesting. Interesting. He's probably a little worse, but still better than he was. I still think Vlad's good. Okay, Xerath. I used to be the Xerath connoisseur, and I still kind of am. If I go support, I like playing Xerath. Xerath is just fucking so easy. You are so safe and could just fucking pummel the enemy. I'm so sad the new mage that we're getting was changed from an artillery mage to a classic mage, because I feel like aside from Xerath and I guess Ziggs, we don't really have too many artillery mages that just throw shit at you. Maybe Lissandra if you're really pushing it, but like, Dude, I love Xerath. God, I fucking love him. I think he's a little crazy, though. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's great. I think he's middle. But if you're good with him, he's good. So maybe they might nerf him a little bit. Honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised at seeing a nerf. What are they doing? Our resident laser sniper has been in a confusing state, having more of a blast as a support than a mid laner. Yeah, because in mid you just get fucked. By retuning his scaling to favor level and gold scaling, this should help energize mid Xerath. Okay, let's see what they're doing. So the base damage of Q is going down, but its AP scaling is going up. The base damage of W went down by 20, but its scaling is going up, maybe? No, it just went down all the way. Oh, wait a minute. The center got buffed. Yeah, the center got buffed. Okay. So let me explain to you what this will do. This will just buff support Xerath. Because support Xerath goes AP mage anyway. Yeah, it takes a little longer, but if the rewards are even greater now, and it's, in my opinion, safer in the bot lane, this is just a buff to support Xerath, which isn't really support. It's, hey, I'm saying I'm support, but I'm really mage Xerath, so this is just a buff to support Xerath. There you go. Xerath is literally just better from this. Okay, tank items. I don't think these are crazy. I actually think tanks are whatever. I think they're in a decent spot. Maybe a little strong, but I mean, they're tanks, man. Just let them have it. So what are they doing? The man's plays a dominating as a second item choice. Yeah, because of its passive. Its move speed. Or reducing its raw defensive stats to highlight its unique mobility, which people are literally just buying it for anyway. This is a nice nerf, though. 400 to 300? Goddamn. That stance has been a step behind its peers. Yeah, because it doesn't fucking heal anymore unless you're killing. So, what are they doing? Attack damage up by 5. That basically does nothing. Armor up by 5. I mean, I guess it's okay. I still think this is a weak item. Unless you're against heavy AD. Then it's a little better, honestly. But still. Moonstone. They just keep touching this item. So it was really weak, then they overbuffed it, it was really strong, then they nerfed it, which it's really weak, and now I guess they're buffing it again. So what are they doing? They're returning the heal, so they're really just trying to fine-tune the healing like area, or how much healing is like the right amount. 10 health, I mean this is really whatever, who cares. Prowler's Claw. This item is actually surprisingly fucking good. If you're a jungler who could actually take good advantage of this, like Rek'Sai and shit, like, it's so, like, surprising. I'm like, holy shit. Like, it literally just lets you to get on the enemy if you need to. It's really good. It's so crazy. We're just thinking the way Prowler's Claw active targeting works to make it more user-friendly. Okay. We're not increasing the accurate range, but now if you misclick slightly while trying to cast in the middle of a combo, it will hit the target you probably meant to click. Oh, okay, so it's a quality of life thing. Yeah, it's literally just quality of life, so nice buff. I think this item is actually really niche, but really good for those who use it. Sunfire. I think this item is kind of useless. You know, when they first introduced this, old Sunfire literally just did flat damage. New Sunfire scaled the longer you were in combat, but then they nerfed it, and I feel like it never was good after that. What are they doing? Okay, this was until Chem Tank crushed all those who would dare oppose them. Okay. So, emulate bonus damage to monsters. Okay, so it's literally just fucking jungle buff. Okay, cool. Okay, Turbo Chem Tank. Basically this is used because if you're a tank you want to engage anyway, and this literally helps you do exactly what you want to do. And it has good stats, and it's really good on Tryndamere. Or not Tryndamere, Udyr. My apologies. What are they doing? They're nerfing the thing that makes it good, move speed. I agree. I actually agree with this nerf wholeheartedly. This is a great nerf. The stats on it or whatever, the active was the problem. This is fine. Wit's End. Like I said, on hit ain't the same. I don't know who the fuck's building Wit's End anymore, like honestly. Unless you're against full AP and you're building on hit anyway and you have nothing else to build and you don't want to build crit for some reason, I guess you get Wit's End. I mean, honestly, I don't know like why you would ever build this unless you're against a full AP or heavy AP team and you're on hit anyway and you're not building crit, which is so like, it's so out there. But whatever. For such a niche item, Wit's End lacks oomph. Yeah, because you don't even heal from it anymore either. Even when picked up in the right scenario. Nice. Adjusting the build path and adding more damage should make it feel... Okay, interesting. So what are they doing? Hearthbound Axe, Negatron Cloak. They're adding a long sword and then 750. I mean, if you have less gold, I guess. But they didn't nerf Yasuo's last breather on. They didn't nerf Yasuo's ulti. If anything, that thing needs to be buffed. It's good, but it needs to be buffed. That thing needs to fucking nuke people. But yeah, they didn't nerf that. In-game shop updates. What do they do to the shop? I'm actually always excited to see what they do with the shop. It just keeps getting better. Improve the drop down for item sets. Now they're set. Okay, I don't know what that means. Elixirs now display a cooldown in the quick buy. That's good. After purchasing a mythic item, the additional mythics will stop pestering you. Nice. Or items are displayed in the shop if you have the Great Horned one. Nice. So, kind of useless, but whatever. Okay, and then split 2 starts, which means I have to play more ranked, like the degenerate I am, even though I don't want to. Starts on May 2nd. We have a little bit of time. Okay, we get the Gwen Summoner Icons. I actually really love Gwen, so I actually don't mind getting this. I really like this. Shurima and MSI Clash. Cool. Shurima Clash. It's this weekend too, right? Information for the second week will be open on April 26th. Isn't that today? Let me see something. Oh, okay, yeah, we could start making it now. Okay, I'm seeing it. Don't really care though, but cool. Clash is like whatever to me. MSI Clash. No one cares. Bug fixes, no one cares. Okay, skins. Let me talk about the skins. So, Conqueror Jax, really cool splash art, really cool end game. It's not bad. But we have better Jax skins, aka the legendary. So, and God Fist or God Pole, whatever the fuck it's called. The one that could have been better, honestly. But not a bad Jax skin. Honestly, if you get this one, it's not bad. And then we have the Damwon gaming skins. The skins that Damwon got for winning Worlds. Which, my opinion, are controversial to say the least. Excuse me. Aron, they didn't buff Pyke. They didn't buff Pyke's, anything. Like, they didn't buff his W, his E, they didn't buff anything. So, I don't know how his undertow got buffed, but that's not this patch. But anyway, so yeah, the Damwon skins, number 1, they look so fucking weird. Like, Jhin, when I first saw it, I almost vomited in my own mouth. TF looks so weird, Leona looks weird. The only decent one, in my opinion, that looks like their champion is Nidalee. Kennen looks so stupid. If the players wanted this, they should be made fun of. Not seriously, though. But, like, just a little bit. Like, yo, I feel like these are so fucking bad. Like, the Jhin one in particular is like, ugh. Like, the colors are whatever. But just the way the champions look, they don't look like their own champions. Like, I didn't know that was Jhin. I figured it out, but once I saw it, I was like, this is disgusting. And it's a Greek theme, too. And I'm Greek. I feel offended. But whatever. I just think these skins, like, effects-wise, are nice. Quality is probably, like, decent. A lot of time probably went into them, but, like, God, they look so weird and ugly. Like, look at that. That's Jhin. He looks so weird with the face. Kennen looks like a freaking idiot. Twisted Fate, I thought that was Lee Sin for a second. Nidalee looks like Nidalee, and Leona just looks weird. Like, oh my god, so weird. So weird. But pretty light on the skins this patch, except for, you know, the 5 Damwon skins that no one cares about. And then just Conqueror Jax. So, overall, pretty okay patch. I mean, you know, they did the nice thing to Hecarim. They bug fixed Jinx, even though ADs are, in my opinion, weak. Good Diana nerf, good Garen nerf. Useless okay, because of the fucking Kogmaw like useless buff. This patch is getting like a 6. Honestly, this shit sucks. This patch fucking blows. The only like really good things were like some of the good nerfs to the really crazy people. Yeah, like we're getting younger. Fucking stupid. And then like Turbo Chem Tank. The Shen buff is nice though, but god, most of this patch just annoyed me. It was so stupid. So yeah, 6 out of 10 Mark Merrills. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe I'll be back in 2 weeks. Who knows? I can't tell the future. I was about to say something really dark, but I refrained. So anyway, I'm out of here. I'm gonna not take a shower because I can't use water in my house right now. So I'm out of here. They did not buff Fiora are and I believe the Grand Challenge is her ulti. They didn't buff her ulti. They didn't even touch her this patch. But anyway, I'm out of here.